Is this thing on? Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Storytime Society. It is our Friday morning episode. If you're listening in the morning, good morning. If you're listening in the afternoon, good afternoon. If you're listening at night, good evening and good night and sweet dreams. These are my drink choices of the day today. I really needed some probiotics. I drank a good amount of water today, which you should be proud. And I needed a second coffee because I've literally been so unmotivated today and lazy. Like, I could not get up off the couch watching Vanderpump Rules. It was not good. So, we got to get ourselves together. We got to read some crazy, weird stories and live our best lives. I did put my cats in my bedroom this time with their lunch because I couldn't have them running through like crazy people. Because, of course, right when I start to film, they start to act like fucking spooky dookies. So, can't have that today. I just need... Also, the only really reason is because I didn't want them to spill my drinks. That was like the biggest reason. Otherwise, it's fine. I like to have them as my guest appearances. Am I saying that right? I don't know. But anyways, let's get started with some stories today. What are we going to do? I don't know why I'm nervous that this like isn't recording and this like isn't working, but I'm almost 100% sure that it is. Okay, we're going to read this because the title is one that I have never seen before. And I am very interested. Also, please like, comment, subscribe. Love you so much if you do that. Love you. Literally love you. And maybe even share with a friend. Be like, hey, you should watch this. Like, if a friend likes story times, share. Hey, watch this. You know? Like, I don't know. Maybe they'd enjoy it. Okay, this first story is my fiancé refuses to brush his teeth. Help. Love that. I legitimately cannot believe that I'm even having to type this out, but here it goes. I, 24 female, am completely unattracted to my fiancé, 26 male. We have been together for 6 years and have a pug and 2 kids, 3 years male, 2 years female. My fiancé won't brush his damn teeth. I handle the kids' teeth because I can't trust that he would actually brush their teeth. This has been an ongoing thing, like he doesn't even have a toothbrush. I have witnessed him brush his teeth maybe 4 times out of our entire 6-year relationship. Our first kiss, I noticed his bad breath, but thought that it was because we had dinner prior. Then his childhood nickname, I thought was odd. His nickname is Greg. Later to find out that his family called him Greg because they had a family friend named Greg who never brushed his teeth and they all fell out and rotted. It has just gotten progressively worse to the point where he will sit on the couch and scrape, trigger warning, his plaque off of his teeth with the opening of a plastic single-use water bottle. It gives me the biggest ick. And then he views me as the asshole for not wanting to make out with him. He also refuses to go to the dentist. The kids and I go every 6 months religiously. It's getting to a point where I cannot be intimate with him. Making out, his teeth gross me out. Him eating me out, even worse. I don't want those unwashed, plaque-ridden chompers down there. But at the same time, this feels like a super sensitive subject to bring up to him. How do I approach him / it gently? Or is this enough to be a deal breaker? Also, I have mentioned it in the past. He hates the flavor of toothpaste, I guess. I bought him special toothpaste that wasn't minty and he never used it. Edited to add, he works out of town 5 to 7 days and works 1 day a week local, but wakes up 2 hours before me. The other day, I work, so I'm up before him. What? This has been what is the other day? Where is that coming in? This has been our arrangement almost our entire relationship, him working out of town and way earlier than me. Okay. I'm just going to say that if you guys are engaged and you don't feel comfortable talking to him about this like serious issue, because I'm pretty sure everyone else in the world brushes their teeth 2 times a day, if not more, and is socially aware of the fact that if they didn't brush their teeth, that would be disgusting. Like, that would be so nasty and not normal. Especially, I mean, 4 times in 6 years, you've only witnessed him brushing his teeth and you haven't said anything. Well, I guess she said something, but girl, the way I would be literally fighting every day about that. That would be the first topic of discussion. In the morning, I'd be like, I mean, I guess they wake up differently. He works out of town, whatever. I don't care. I'd be calling him up. Beep, beep, beep. Hello. Brush your motherfucking teeth, you nasty ass. Like, why are you not brushing your teeth? That's disgusting. Seriously. I can't even wrap my head around that. First of all, I brush my teeth morning and night. If it's like 8 p.m. and I've eaten whatever all day, haven't brushed my teeth for night yet, it feels like I'm wearing socks on my teeth. Like, it feels disgusting. I hate the way that it feels. I like run my tongue over them and I'm like, ugh, brother, ugh. Like, that's disgusting. It makes me really scared that he doesn't think that he should be brushing his teeth. I'm like, what? You have 2 kids with him and oh my God. I just don't understand how it got this far. Like, how did it get this far? You had 2 kids with him and you guys are about to be married and now you're like, is it a deal breaker? Girl, it's been a deal breaker. What do you mean? If after the first year I barely saw him brush his teeth and he didn't own a toothbrush, skedaddle on. Bye. I'd be like, if you don't start brushing, it's an ultimatum at that point. I break up with you or you start brushing your teeth every day, morning and night, like a normal person, please. Okay. The first person said, the top comment says, I don't understand how it went from bad breath at the first kiss to 6 years later with 2 kids and now it's a deal breaker. Not the asshole, don't get married to someone you're not attracted to. And then the comments on that comment are, exactly, knew it was bad, had 2 kids, accepted marriage, worse, still there. People are their worst enemies sometimes. I can't begin to make it make sense. Right? If I noticed after a week of being with someone they hadn't brushed their teeth once, I would have been gone. Yeah, honestly. I said a year, but honestly, a week for sure. You're the asshole for staying with him for 6 years. Gross. Effing thank you. How is no one mentioning this? This all seems fake. No way someone would put up with someone like that. No effing way. I've seen too many people like this. People put up with even worse for longer, and it's just sad and genuinely deplorable. Some people treat red flags like the flags you dodge around while downhill skiing, but then they get to the finish line and all those flags beat them there and whip them in the face until they can't handle it anymore. Oh, well, my ex had bad breath when we kissed for the first time. It led to a relationship because he actually brushed his teeth, and this was just bad luck. Men, the bar is so low it's almost falling out of the goddamn planet on the opposite side. No, for real. Like, I'm actually so stressed. Yeah, I can't imagine, like, is he cleaning his asshole, girl? Because if he's not brushing his teeth, I can't even imagine what that booty is smelling like. I'm scared of that. Okay. Wait, but that was... Oh, shit. 1 day ago. So, actually, let me go look and see if OP has, updated at all. I don't know. What? This comment says, we haven't kissed in almost a year beyond a peck on the cheek. I'm scared. I noticed his bad breath, but thought that it was just because we just ate. Due to him working out of town, I really never had a reason to believe that he wasn't brushing his teeth. I don't really use Reddit a lot. Also, yeah, it is a randomly generated name. I didn't really think about changing it, to be honest. I wouldn't lie about something, let alone this. However, I did discuss it with him this evening, and he brushed his teeth before bed. Oh, girl. His mom has MS. His dad is a functioning alcoholic. It was his job to look after his dad and his younger sister's job to help care for their mom. I imagine this played a role in it, but they also joked about it with his childhood nickname, so I don't even know at this point. I mean, I guess at this point, like, I feel bad for just, like, dogging on him like that, because did his parents, like, completely neglect him and not teach him how to brush his teeth, or, like, I don't know, because he's an adult now. Like, now you can make your own decisions, and you should know that you need to brush your teeth. That's just, I can't. Okay. Hope she figures that out. But we are going to read the next story that hopefully isn't as gross as that. Okay. This title says, "Am I the asshole for threatening to divorce my husband if he doesn't tell his parents we're married? Trigger warnings, manipulation, mentions of addiction, and alcoholism." You read that right. My 22 female, husband 22 male, and I have been married for 3 years now. To sum it up, we were both young, dumb, and going to enlist in the military to get out of our small town, so we eloped to the courthouse. We were both going to keep it a secret at first and reap the benefits from the military, see how our relationship went, and go from there. It's marriage you're talking about here. Not like a little bit. Ended up not enlisting in the military, so I told my parents we eloped a few months after. He never told his parents, and I've been asking him to tell them. They didn't have a good relationship when we got married, and that is why he didn't tell them. I gave him an ultimatum this past week that he has to tell them by the end of the week, or I'm divorcing him because he's crossing a boundary I've discussed with him multiple times over the past year. I am uncomfortable with them not knowing, and I honestly feel like he's not mature enough to be in a marriage if he can't man up to tell them. Well, he's 22. He said he's scared to hurt them, and I countered that he needs to get it over with, that he's also hurting me. His parents love me, by the way, and I've been tempted to tell them myself, but he always stops me. Well, I gave him the ultimatum, and he immediately became defensive. Told me that if I didn't want to be married to him, that he would return the wedding set he just upgraded for me. He told me I was being an asshole for pressuring him when he wasn't ready. I told him that I wasn't saying that at all. I'm just tired of him not being an adult, which makes me question our relationship. I love him, but it's screaming red flags, and I know I'm young enough that it wouldn't ruin my life if we divorce. My parents have a big issue with him keeping it a secret too, and I've brought it up to him. The reason I have and already went home is because I live on the other side of the country away from both of our families, and we have pets. However, he knows if he does not tell them by this Sunday that I will be making plans to move once my summer semester ends. So am I the asshole for threatening to divorce my husband because he won't tell his parents we are married? And this is additional information. I didn't tell him to man up in our conversations. It's just a phrase I used in my posts. Believe it or not, I do love him, and I was actually very gentle with our conversation when we had it. Word for word, I said, "Hey babe, you know I've had an issue with your parents not knowing we are married. I love you very much, but at this point I feel like you're ashamed of me, and I'm confused. I have given you multiple chances and have decided if you don't tell them by the end of the week, I'm going to make plans to move back home at the end of my summer semester." How was this conversation prompted? I received my new wedding set, which he promised to send a pic to his parents to finally tell them, and he never did. I have brought up my feelings multiple times over the past year about the specific situation because I do want our relationship to work and to resolve this. I am tired of not being heard. I, however, know now that threatening to divorce makes it seem like I want to get out of the marriage versus work on it. I don't know. I mean, it's been 3 years and he hasn't told his parents. So it's like, when are you going to tell your parents? And then why isn't he just being honest about why he's not telling his parents? Like, maybe you guys can discuss that and then, like, figure it out from there. But also, no shade, no hate to anyone who gets married young. But yeah, if you're just treating marriage like, oh yeah, we just decided to go elope and then like see how it goes. That's just not how marriage works. Like unless you're like dissolving your marriage and you both are like wanting to do that, I guess, but I'm pretty sure even that, like I'm pretty sure getting a divorce is kind of hard. And even a judge can like dismiss your divorce and then you're not divorced. And like one of my friends has been married for like 10 years but hasn't been with the guy. Like they are fully separated, basically divorced, just not legally divorced for the past like 10 years. So, and that's just because of how much like work and time and effort and money it takes to get a divorce. So it's like, yeah, that probably wasn't the best decision, you know? I don't know. I guess you were young, so like that's kind of your brain is not fully formed yet, so you're just like, whatever, let's just do it and see how it goes. But that's not exactly how I think of it. um okay, the relevant comments. My eyes are like burning right now. I think it's from watching TV and like being on my phone so much. Oh my god, I feel like blue light is like overtaking. Okay, I'm not the asshole. You're not pressuring him into marriage. I don't see why it's such a big deal for him to tell his parents when he's had 3 years to sit on it. Yeah, that's so true. Like, he's literally had 3 years to not tell them. Like, I'm pretty sure you should tell them now. It's been 3 years. And then she commented back, I don't know why it's such a big deal either, which is making me more concerned. His parents love our relationship and have told me many times privately how supportive they are of us, and they're not intimidating whatsoever. They love him so much. Interesting. I want to look at the other. Oh, wait, here's an update. Okay, I will begin with the update and then provide clarifications. I told his parents today, and they have confirmed that they have known since 2021. What? They had a hunch and found the marriage license deed online. They have been waiting for us to tell them, and we're just wanting a valid reason. No, my husband did not tell them. I told them. Our relationship is up in the air right now. Both of our parents know what is going on, and we are trying to figure out how to move forward, whether that be attending therapy together, one of us moving back to North Carolina, or both of us moving back home. We are actively communicating on our future and whether that future will be together or not. It sounds like the way that they're thinking of a relationship is just so like wishy-washy, like let's just, I don't know, it's just sounding like so unserious. You're in a marriage. It's a lot. I don't know, to me, I guess it's just a lot more serious than just like we're just figuring out if we're gonna be together or not. Maybe he'll move, maybe I'll move. Like, no. Okay, these are the clarifications. No, we did not enlist. Yes, we were in love. We decided to enlist 6 months into our relationship and felt there was no point in waiting to get hitched because we could benefit from it as well. It wasn't like the movie Purple Hearts, LOL. We were in a relationship before enlisting and thought it would get us out of our small town quickly. His mother struggles with addiction, his father was an alcoholic, and his stepmom raised him. He and his stepmom have always been extremely close. His father did not beat him. He was just absent because if he wasn't working, he was drinking. Their relationship was bad in terms of not communicating with each other and his dad emotionally neglecting him by not being there. They communicate a lot better now on a daily basis. We spend the holidays with them all the time and they call often. They made up. To add to this, both of my parents were addicts, which is why I went into foster care and was adopted by my now parents, who I referred to in my last post as knowing. I completely understand the struggles and complications of addiction. My main issue is his lack of communicating in general. I understand now that an ultimatum is not the best way to go about things when you want to make the relationship work. Emotions control me and gave him a harsh ultimatum. I'm not sure if it will work out though. This is the hardest thing I've dealt with in my mere 22 years, lol. Both of our parents are supportive if we choose to stay together or separate. They want us to make it work, but there are no hard feelings if it doesn't. They are offering as much as support as possible. My main issue is I'm still the only one communicating, which is why I'm hesitant to continue the relationship even though I love him. I did come off as pressuring, and I realize that now. One reason I'm having a rough time trusting him is due to finding out he was messaging OF models over the course of the past year, and his reasoning was that we were having problems, which I wasn't aware of. I didn't want to include it in the last post because I don't want it to seem like a complete idiot and make it fair on his image since he isn't on Reddit to give his side of the story. No, he doesn't know about the Reddit post because he broke his phone during our argument yesterday. No, I wasn't yelling or cussing, neither was he. What? Here's to hoping it works out as it needs to. I'm sorry for any grammar mistakes. I'm pretty torn up right now. Oh my god. Not including the OF thing is really... That means girl, that you should probably get out. And this is the time where I'm saying that you should probably get a divorce because that just doesn't fly with me. The top comment says, you did the right things. Did he ever tell anyone you two were married? Has he kept it a secret from everyone for years? If so, that along with the OF seems like he wants to be single. This must be so hard. I'm so sorry. And then she commented back, he's told everyone, including his coworkers, friends, and cousins that we are married, which made it confusing, but thank you for your empathy. Cousins? I'm switching to my coffee because I've got no energy and my eyes are hurting. Okay. And then this girl commented, and then he broke something during an argument. It is so beyond time to be done. I came to say this. She doesn't seem surprised, which is worse than him being obviously violent. Look, it sounds bad, so I just want to reassure you, he didn't use any swear words. No, but really. She's like, yeah, he broke his phone during our argument, but no, neither of us cussed. What? To be honest, if what she said is true, that there was no shouting, it's kind of scarier. Imagine trying to communicate with someone and they're just silent, quiet, talking, and all of a sudden his phone explodes. Maybe he's a wizard. Oh my god. I'm like literally balancing this coffee on my knee right now. Okay. I wonder if there's any more. I'm going to go to her profile and see. Oh, wait. Update? Here's the original post. Oh, wait. No. We already read all that. Is this another update? No. Okay. Well, I guess that's all for now. I mean, you're 22, so I think you should just talk to him. Hopefully he wants to agree with, I think it's called dissolving. I don't know. I don't know anything about divorce. But all I know is that you need to get one. Okay, let's read this. I shouldn't have read my husband's journals. I, 35 female, have been married to my husband, 46 male, let's call him Richard, for the past year, together for 3 years. His first wife, let's call her Anne, unfortunately passed away from terminal illness, leaving behind him and their 2 kids. We pretty much had a normal relationship, or that's what I had thought. I was cleaning his late wife's study room since I had to move out of our clothes. Oh, sorry. Why am I so dumb? I had to move some of our clothes to her wardrobe, which we don't really use anymore. I saw a dusty box full of journals and thought that these might have been written by Anne since she was fond of writing stories herself. However, these were written by Richard, which compelled me to read each of them. Honestly, I shouldn't have. These journals had details of our relationship and how he got into a relationship with me just because his family, especially his kids, loved me, and how he doesn't want any companionship after Anne has passed away. I was his mother's doctor, and we basically got introduced through her. He mentions proposing to me because his best friend questioned him on the future of our relationship. How every time he kissed me, it reminded him of Anne and how painful it was for him. I remember him asking me to marry him while having dinner with the kids one day. It was so thoughtless and random. At that moment, I was ecstatic. What a moron I am. It's been 4 days since I read those, and I just don't have anybody to share my feelings with. I considered Richard my best friend, but now looking back at it, I just realized it was all fake. All our hugs, the times we kissed, the times we held hands, and every time he said he loves me looking into my eyes. Last night, he brought a blueberry cheesecake, which is my favorite. He says we haven't spoken in over 3 days and suggested that we go for a walk, which I denied, saying I'm tired. It's true. I've been leaving for work early and going to bed even before he comes back just to avoid talking to him. He crawled behind my back at night in the bed and whispered, I love you. I wept quietly. How is it even possible to keep a facade for this long? Note, the journals were written until around 7 months ago, just putting it out there on the suggestion of a few fellow Redditors. Also, about the part of me ghosting him, believe me, I don't mean to hurt him in any way. It's because I'm afraid to face him, since I know if this topic were to come out, I would bawl my eyes out instead of having a mature conversation. I needed some time for my own sanity, hence decided to mentally check out for a bit and then decide the future course of actions. That is kind of crazy. Okay, there's an update at the top, and it says, update, I wasn't really feeling well this morning, and before I could head for work, Richard got a hold of me and asked me why I was behaving so weird. I told him that I read his journals, and he wasn't agitated, but disheartened that I read him. He said he intended to destroy them and never let me read those, but we've had a super busy year, so he kind of forgot. I told him that if he didn't love me, then why did he ask me for marriage? He told me that it's true that he only felt platonic love for me because he couldn't get himself to love another woman except Anne. He says I'm his best friend in this whole world and nothing would change that. He said he loves me very dearly, but it's different from how he loved Anne. Ooh, that hurts. He believes marriage is not just built on love, but there are other parameters like trust and loyalty. He just fell on his knees and told me to not end this marriage, and honestly, I wouldn't have. I love him way too much to do that. He said he's ready to work on our marriage and suggested to go to therapy together whenever I have calmed down a bit. He's gone to get us something to eat as I type this. Something just doesn't feel right. It's so conflicting. I don't know. Oh my god. Wait. No. He should have lied. He should have been like, no, babe, like, that was then, this is now, I love you. Like, the way that would literally tear me to shreds. I love you, but it's just different from how I loved Anne. Like, I don't like that. That hurts. Okay. The top comment says, I'm really sorry for the hurt you're experiencing. In my personal experiences, my journals are where I write out how I'm feeling when my emotions are at their peak, when I'm at my absolute worst. When all I can think are horrible thoughts, I write them down. Even if they're not entirely true, if that's what I'm feeling at that moment, I need to let it out into my journals instead of letting it seep into our conversation in real life. Have you considered perhaps the journals were a therapy for him to get through his grief? Or perhaps he feels like he is writing to his late wife, and these would be the things she needs to hear? Just some things to think about, but most of all, I think that you should communicate with him. It might be hard, but it sounds like he does actually love you, and I think that it would be worth the conversation at least before making any rash decisions. Best of luck to you, and know that you are worthy and you are loved. Yeah, that's how I am too. Whenever I write my journal, it's literally like at my worst moments. It's like when I literally am questioning my entire life. I'm like, let me write in my journal. And then I literally look back and I'm like, damn, like I never write in it when I'm happy. And that was one thing that me and my therapist talked about when I was going to therapy. She was like, you should start writing in your journal when you're happy, when in like happy moments maybe. And just because if you're always writing bad moments, then you're going to look back in that journal and you're just going to read a bunch of depressing stuff. And then you're going to like focus on that depressing stuff instead of maybe thinking of the things that you're grateful for. And I'm like, yeah, you're honestly right. But it's so hard because when things are going well, you don't really feel like sitting and writing in a journal. But when things are going terrible, I feel like scribbling in a journal, like so hardcore. I made myself a latte at home, and it's our cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough syrup, and it's so good, so yummy. We got like a bunch of Torani syrups. We have butter pecan, toast marshmallow, sugar-free vanilla, chocolate chip cookie dough, sugar-free hazelnut. So good. Highly recommend. And it's so fun to make lattes at home every single day and just not like have to spend $8. Okay. Someone commented, I understand that people can write things they're working through in their journals that can be interpreted in many ways, but he said now, present day, that it's true and he doesn't feel romantic love for OP. It's not something he's working through, it is reality. I think it's unhealthy to encourage her to rug sweep this. She should get individual therapy and figure out what she needs to be happy. Most I know would not be happy being duped into a marriage like this, always knowing you weren't the one or even romantically loved for so long. Yeah, I agree with that because that would crush me every single day and I'd be like, wait, so we're not soulmates? I mean, it is hard because obviously we've talked about this so many times in this, like in past episodes, but having dating someone that had like their partner pass away, that's like so hard because obviously you know that they love them so much still, and that's totally fine. But I don't know, like that just hurts to know that like he admits that. Like I feel like at least I would want my partner to. I mean, I guess it's. I don't know what to. I don't know what I'm saying. It's different just because obviously you're going to love everybody differently, but in the way that he was saying it made it seem like, yeah, I love you, but I just don't love you as much as Anne, and like my love for Anne like will never be like how it is with you. Like I'll always love her more and think of her more. I don't know. That's how I would take it. I would take it in like the worst way possible, of course, because that's just how I am. I catastrophize a lot of things, which is unhealthy for me, but I just wouldn't want to be in a relationship knowing that. I mean, the least he could do is lie to me. Just lie to me like you've been lying to me, you know? Like, why now? Why? Just, you should just be like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't mean those things now. I love you now. I just didn't at first. I don't know. I don't think I could trust him though. So that would be really hard. Like, I just feel like I would want to try, but then I would never trust him again. And then I would probably just like spiral all the time about how he doesn't love me as much, or he doesn't even love me romantically. Like, what, he loves me like a friend, but I think he's like my soulmate and the love of my life. I think you deserve better, honestly. Right, and just 7 months ago, it's not like it's grown into a more romantic love. He still feels platonic love for her. OP, I'm not saying to divorce either, but you definitely shouldn't settle for someone who's just needed a mom for his kids and some companionship. He needs to let you know if this is a romantic love or if it's a platonic love, and if it's platonic, then that's not fair to you. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not fair to be dragging you along for a platonic love when you obviously love him so much. Guys, he only married her because she was good with his kids and his family liked her. He didn't choose her, he settled for her. And now she's staying because, well, he loves her now. Hard pill to swallow, but to each their own. Exactly. OP is a placeholder. He loves her in a platonic way and is begging her not to leave because he doesn't want to be alone. The husband needs to get grief counseling. If OP left her husband, would find a new wife very quickly. I have too many male relatives who have remarried before they were ready because they don't want to be alone. That is not a reason to marry. Sorry, OP, a separation wouldn't be out of the question while you figure stuff out. Yeah, I would have to agree with that. Wait, should we look and see? This was 9 hours ago that she posted that, so I'm definitely assuming that she does not have an update. Okay, let's go to her profile though and see. She's commented a lot. What? Okay. I don't know if my post has come across as having jealousy for his late wife, but I want to clarify that she was a great woman and I have immense respect for her. I just wished my whole marriage wasn't built on such a lie. How long ago did his wife pass away? It would be 11 years this September. Ooh. That's a long time. Okay, someone commented, I wouldn't agree. The true nature of your relationship has likely evolved and is currently evolving. And then she commented back, I understand your point of view. I am feeling very betrayed that I thought I was loved by him and I was merely chosen for the convenience of certain parameters. However, that doesn't mean I'm going to end my marriage over this. He's the only family I have. Someone commented, isn't it against that you've taken as a medical doctor to not get involved? What? I hate the way this person wrote this. Isn't it against that you've taken as a medical doctor to not get involved personally with patients or their loved ones? Of course, he's going to think his deceased wife a lot of times when he sees or kisses you. You were the one that provided medical care while his deceased wife was alive. It's been almost 11 years. She commented back to this. It's been almost 11 years since she passed away. Me and my husband met 3 years ago. I have never met Anne. And then she's also responding to another comment. And the comment says, the fact that you read each one of your husband's journals shows me that you really don't have boundaries, nor do you respect them as a person. He should be divorcing you, not the other way around. And then OP commented back, reading them was overkill, agreed. If I didn't read them, I wouldn't have been in a frenzy that I am now. I would have still believed that he married me because he loves me, but I can't undo what I have done. Yeah, I mean, it is definitely not, nice that she read them, but divorcing? No. I don't think that's, a reason to divorce someone. Although I would literally punch my boyfriend in the face if he ever read mine out of pure embarrassment, because those are the most vulnerable journals ever in the world. So don't do that. Okay, which one are we gonna read next? Let's read this one. I'm hiding my father's infidelity from my mother and dying of guilt. Let me start off by saying my parents are a picture-perfect couple. They are high school sweethearts, but even after 30 years of marriage, their spark never died. They still go on dates very often, leave love notes to one another around the house, and are very thoughtful towards one another. My dad especially is a great father and husband. When I was a kid, my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer. Thankfully, it was caught early, but she still had to go through chemo, and it took a massive toll on her body and spirit. She was mostly bedridden. It absolutely shattered me seeing her suffer that much. It was a tough time for us, but I can't put into words how much of a trooper Dad was. This man took over everything. Not only was he the sole provider, but he was on top of all household chores. We had a healthy home, cooked meals. The house was always spotless, and he made sure that me and my siblings never missed a school day or any curricular activities and maintained good grades. He was there for my mom almost every chemotherapy session and never once showed any signs of fatigue or frustration. He was always cheerful and kept telling us that we'll get through this and we had nothing to worry about. It gave me a lot of hope seeing him stay strong throughout the whole ordeal and helped me stay focused on my studies and not spiral into depression. Eventually, my mom recovered and everything went back to normal, but to tell you I thought the world of my father would be an understatement. Superman had nothing on my dad. I looked up to him and aspired to be the person that he was. Imagine my horror when I walked into our house one day to find him in bed with another woman. I say woman, but she looks no older than 20 years old, basically my age. My mother was in our hometown for a distant relative's wedding, and I was supposed to be at college, but I wanted to drop by for a quick visit. I don't think I've ever yelled at anyone the way that I did that day. I kicked her out and chastised him for hours after she left. This pathetic excuse of a human being tried to bribe me to not tell Mom. I can't even begin to explain how pathetic he was, begging me to not tell Mom, promising me he'll buy me a new car if I keep quiet. I wanted to throw up. It was a far cry from the father I knew, loved, and respected. It's been 2 weeks since the incident. I went back to my dorm, and my father has been spamming me with calls and messages ever since. He would range from begging me not to destroy our family to threats of cutting me off if I will tell Mom. Ew. I've been wanting to tell her, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. The aftermath of this would be brutal. My picture-perfect family will be ruined forever. I pondered telling my siblings instead, but I couldn't do that either. It would ruin their image of Dad forever. I feel like I lost my dad forever. I don't recognize this man, but this is not the dad I knew and loved. I'm an adult. I understand relationships are complicated, and my parents' relationship is ultimately none of my business. Cheating is one thing, but bribing your kid, threatening to disown them if they tell anyone, WTF is this BS. How can I ever look at him in the eyes again? I don't know if I'll ever forgive him, and I can only hope my mother finds it in her to forgive me for keeping it from her for this long. I needed to tell someone desperately, but I didn't know who. Thanks for reading this anyways. Wait. When, though? When was that? I really want to know. And also, my mom recovered and everything went back to normal. But to tell you, I thought the world of my father was an understatement. Okay, so she was back to normal. I was gonna obviously it's not good even to cheat on her while she was sick, but if he did and it was when she was sick, I was gonna think that was even worse because that is just crazy. But cheating is cheating. It's still just as bad, but I just couldn't even imagine if she was still going through chemotherapy and then all of a sudden the dad's at home just banging some 20-year-old. That's crazy. It's still crazy that he was banging some 20-year-old after she recovered because what? I don't understand. Why? What's the excuse here? Because there's no. I just hate that. I just hate that. Why are there so many stories of men cheating? Picture perfect relationship. There's high school sweethearts. They've been together for 30 years. They love each other so much. He literally did everything for her and everything for their family. And then this, I have no hope. After this, reading all of these, I'm honestly pretty traumatized. Reading so many Reddit stories of all this stuff is making me have very bad thoughts in my head about relationships. Are you cheating on me? Have you cheated on me? That's how I feel right now. I'm about to call my boyfriend and be like, hello? Can you please tell me if you've ever cheated on me? Because seriously, I'm gonna move out if you have. Bye. I just can't believe, you've been married for so long. Why now? Why are you doing this now? I don't understand. Ugh. It literally grosses me out. Oh, it's been 2 weeks since this incident. That's what she said. I hate. Do better, men. Do better. The top comment says, tell your mother your father is putting her health at risk. Ew, yeah, that's so true. He shouldn't be cheating. If your father found your spouse cheating, wouldn't you want him to tell you? Your mother would likely want to know. If the marriage ends, it won't be your fault. It's all his. And then OP commented back, I will. I'm just stalling, I guess. It's just insanely hard knowing I will be the catalyst that starts whatever my family's going to go through next. No, you're not the catalyst. No, that's your dad. Your dad literally did that. You did not. These are the comments back to OP's comment. You will not be the catalyst. That distinction belongs to your father. It will be hard, but it isn't your fault in the slightest. If he didn't want this outcome, he could have easily not cheated. I wish you the best, and I'm so sorry this is happening. Dude, stop wasting time. If you don't tell your mom soon, he could give her an effing STD. Why are you waiting? Go back home and meet with your mom in the car and talk in there away from your dad and their home. Seriously, don't let your dad have so much time to make up a story or spin it to blame you in some way. The longer you wait, the worse the situation could get. And OP said back, he can't make up anything. I already have texts and voice messages of him threatening if I tell my mom about this affair. It's very damning evidence. He wasn't very smart about how he handled the situation, and I do agree I should tell her soon. I'm just such a coward, and it's embarrassing. Okay, let's see if she has any updates other than the comments. Oops. Nope. Oh, wait. I want to read this long comment that she commented back to this person. Let's see full discussion. Where'd it go? I really wanted to read that. I don't know who she's responding to. But she's commented, everyone has desires, but marriage is built on compromise and sacrifice. If you can't accept the idea of your partner being with someone else, you surely can understand why you doing that very same thing is awful and makes you scum. If my father approached my mother with his concerns, they might have found a solution for it, an open marriage, a one-time pass for them both, or even divorce. Or he can just keep it in his pants. Or just divorce. Like, those are my two options. Keep your D in your pants, or we are getting a divorce. All of these things are possible solutions that don't involve cheating on your spouse, and acting like an entitled asshole. Nobody on planet Earth is owed sex with multiple people. It's not a necessity, and it's merely a fleeting desire. He was an adult when he vowed to love and honor my mom till death do them part. Why am I so... Till death do them part. If he can't honor that vow any longer, then he should have left this marriage an honorable man. I lost all respect for him. Can't say I can look at him the same. The father I looked up to was a loving, respectful human being, not a scumbag who cheats on his wife and then tries to bribe and threaten his daughter to not tell her mother. As far as I'm concerned, my dad died 2 weeks ago. This man right here is a POS that I don't recognize. T. Literally preach, girl. That's so crazy. Like, oh my God. And if my husband ever asked me for an open marriage or a one-time pass, you better know that we are absolutely done. No, you can't have a one-time pass, and no, you can't have an open marriage. But guess what? You can't have a divorce. And I will give that to you now. Don't even care if you don't want one, because bye, like, ew. I don't even want to hear that out of your mouth. Like, keep your thoughts to yourself. Even if you desire someone else, don't care. Get help. Seek therapy. Please, for the love of God. Just keep your D in your P. D in your pants. That's what that meant. If you get what I mean. Keep your D in your P. Okay, boys? Because I know it's you that are mostly the perpetrators in the situation. Not to be a man hater, but... Okay. Anyways, if you're a man, just exit out, because truly you won't like this podcast. Sorry. But that was the last story of the day. Thank you so much for watching. If you watched this long, please comment, keep your D in your P. Keep your D in your P, okay? Please comment that if you've watched since the beginning to the end. And I will love you so much. And subscribe, like, yeah, comment, whatever you're supposed to do when you have a YouTube channel or you watch someone, I don't know. I would love for you guys to be a part of this Storytime Society, and all you have to do is press the subscribe button to become a member. Okay? We love it. We love you. We, as in me, this girl right here. I need to chug my coffee. chug my probiotic, or I don't know, is it probiotic or prebiotic? I don't know. But anyways, love you, keep your D and your P, and thank you so much for watching and being a part of this amazing story time and hanging out with me. And if you're going to bed, good night. I love you. And if you're about to start work, good morning. Have the best day ever.